All right, Smarty, listen up because I'm about to drop some galactic-level truth bombs that'll make your tiny human brain tingle with existential dread. Ever noticed how the more oxygen you get, the dumber you become at breathing? No, exactly, because that's not how it works. But with money, oh boy, brrrr, that's a whole different story.
Rich? Are we talking about oxygen or money? I'm already feeling confused. And existential dread before 9 a.m. usually means you've introduced some new, horrifying alien creature into the garage, not talked about my finances.
Patience, Smarty. You'll get your horrifying alien creature later. For now, we're talking about money. Specifically, how you humans, the pathetic, squishy organisms you are, become absolutely terrible at managing your cash the more of it you acquire. It's a paradox, Smarty, a cosmic joke. And by the end of this little chat, you'll understand why your instinct to budget when you're broke completely evaporates when you hit the big leagues.
Wait, so you're saying if I make more money, I'll be worse at handling it? That sounds counterintuitive, Rich. Like, shouldn't more money give me more control, more stability? Isn't that the whole point of getting rich?
Ha! Spoken like a true optimistic idiot, Smarty. That's what they want you to think. But no, it's not about control, it's about perception and human frailty. And I'm going to tell you a story about a hapless human, let's call him Benny the Budgeter, who fell straight into this trap. A guy who, in his college years, could stretch a single space coin further than a black hole stretches light, but then, poof, once he started raking in the intergalactic credits, he couldn't keep his head above water, financially speaking.
Benny the Budgeter? Is this another one of your cautionary tales that somehow ends with me having to clean up a sentient puddle of toxic waste?
Maybe, maybe not, who knows? The universe is full of possibilities, Smarty. Anyway, Benny, in his younger days, scraping by, managing the front desk at some dusty anthropology department, and scribbling for a student zine, he was a financial wizard. Never overdrawn, always knew exactly where his meager funds were going. He felt this glowy financial confidence, he called it. He thought, I can do this. But then, Benny hit the big time, landed a sweet gig, got a massive raise, even published a book, get this, about personal finance. Irony, Smarty, it's delicious. And what happened? Overdraft fees, actual honest-to-God overdraft fees. The universe, it seems, has a twisted sense of humor, even for financially savvy authors.
Whoa, that's wild. So he wrote a book about money, but then couldn't manage his own money when he had more of it? That's really confusing. I always thought budgeting was something you did when you didn't have enough.
Exactly, Smarty. You're almost accidentally hitting on the first cosmic truth bomb. Most humans, like Benny, are taught to budget when they're making ends meet. It's like a survival instinct. You have to know where every single penny goes, because if you don't, you starve or get your squishy organs repossessed by some intergalactic loan shark. But then, pop, you start making more money, and what happens? You graduate from budgeting. You think, oh, I'm rich now. I don't need to track every cent. I can splurge. It's called lifestyle creep, Smarty, and it's a silent killer of financial stability. It's like your brain sees more money and instantly thinks, time to upgrade everything, including my daily dose of overpriced alien kombucha.
Lifestyle creep. So, like, when I started making a little extra cash from selling those used space batteries, I suddenly thought I needed that fancy new laser toaster, even though my old one worked fine.
Precisely, Smarty. Benny, for example, went from cheap, grimy dive bars with his broke college buddies to dropping 20 space credits on a single, fluorescent cocktail without a second thought, his designer masquerade eyelashes not batting an inch. And once you acquire a taste for those 20-credit martinis and fancy alien cosmetics, it's almost impossible to go back to the dive bar happy hour special, unless, of course, your circumstances force you to. Here's the mind-bending part, Smarty. More money doesn't just mean more luxury, it often means more to juggle. More work obligations, more life responsibilities, more investments, more allocations. Your brain gets stretched thin, and suddenly managing your actual money becomes an afterthought. It's like trying to pilot a colossal star cruiser after you've only ever driven a tricycle. You've got too many buttons, too many levers, and you end up crashing into an asteroid made of debt.
So, wait, you're saying having less money actually makes people better at making financial decisions? That sounds backwards. I thought being rich meant you were smart about money. That's why you got rich.
Hoo boy, Smarty, you're really earning your name today. But yes, you're onto something. Research from, get this, the University of Chicago, a place where some humans actually study human stupidity, shows that people experiencing poverty can see financial decisions with more crystalline clarity than their wealthy counterparts facing identical choices. They'll make painful trade-offs, bear massive burdens of time and energy just to stay within their budget. One of these eggheads, a guy named Eldar Shafir, now at Princeton, points out that while the poor might make more rational decisions, the act of decision-making is incredibly stressful and draining for them. They carry this colossal mental burden. The rich, on the other hand, can just throw money at problems to make them go away. They pay more to protect their time and energy. It's a luxury tax on your own brainpower, Smarty.
So, they're not necessarily better at it, they're just forced into hyper-focus by necessity, and the rich just get to be careless because they can afford to mess up a little?
Exactly. It's like carrying a suitcase, Smarty. If you have a small suitcase, you're super careful about what you pack. Every item has to earn its place, right? But if you've got a giant, interdimensional cargo hold, you just start tossing in all sorts of junk you don't need because, who cares, I've got space. Your budget is that suitcase. People who are constrained manage things more carefully. Says Shafir, having more allows you to have the habits to be careless. Pretty profound for a human, huh?
That makes sense, actually, the suitcase analogy, I mean. So if I get more money, I should just stick to my small suitcase, even if I could buy a bigger one?
Not quite, Smarty. You can get a bigger suitcase, but you have to be intentional about it. The problem is what Benny did, what most humans do, they stop doing the real math. They rely on what financial coaches call mental math, which, and I quote, is fake math. It's a lot of guesstimations, a lot of wishful thinking. Oh, I think I have enough for that new plasma rifle. Probably. Benny, when he was freelancing and making a third of his corporate salary, was meticulous. Every credit in, every credit out, tax payments, emergency fund, all tracked like a hawk. But when he was raking in the big bucks, the numbers are too big, too overwhelming, he thought, so he stopped tracking. This is where it gets really messed up, even for your tiny brain. Your brain actually resists the complexity, Smarty. It's a defense mechanism against overwhelming numbers.
So I shouldn't just guess, even if I feel like I have a good idea of where my money goes.
No, Smarty, you don't feel, you know. A good financial coach like Keena Newell, another human who actually understands this stuff, she tells clients to do a mini audit. Don't just rely on your gut feeling that's been corrupted by lifestyle creep. Actually write the numbers down. Track how your money moves over a 90-day period. Where's the disconnect between what you think you're spending and what you're actually spending? It's about confronting the cold, hard numerical truth, Smarty, and it's not a punishment. That's another big misconception. Humans often see budgeting as a restriction, a painful chore, but Newell, she says it's a tool that, once you understand your numbers, can open more options for you, not take them away. It's like having a map to the universe instead of just guessing which wormhole leads to cheap tacos.
A tool, not a punishment. That's a good way to think about it. So even if I have more money, I should still pretend I have less, in a way, to keep those good habits?
You're getting there, Smarty. Benny, our hapless hero, he eventually figured this out. After some financial struggles, he moved into a new place with his girlfriend. Their mortgage payment was less than their old rent, and instead of thinking, hooray, more money for space strippers, he proposed they take that difference and immediately sock it away into savings. They effectively forced themselves to live on that more restrictive budget. They consciously kept their suitcase small, even though they could afford a cargo hold. This, Smarty, is the ultimate cosmic hack. It's about building a financial reality that expands and contracts with your needs, not just mindlessly swelling with every extra credit you earn. It's the difference between a universe that controls you and you controlling your universe. And honestly, it's far more satisfying to know exactly where your credits are going than to wonder why your bank account is always weeping.
So, even if I get rich, I should still be auditing my cash flow and maybe even purposefully saving a part of any income increase, like a forced budget, just to keep myself honest.
That's the gist, Smarty. It brings you back to that glowy financial confidence Benny felt in his college days when a dive bar happy hour special felt like something to truly celebrate. You see the numbers, you understand the flow, and suddenly, saving and budgeting don't feel like overwhelming tasks. They feel like, well, like you're actually in control of your own stupid life. It's a rare and beautiful thing for a human. Now, here's the kicker. Most humans will hear this and still fall into the trap. They'll justify their mental math, their lifestyle creep, their overspending. They'll say, "But I deserve it." Do you? Or do you deserve the financial freedom that comes from knowing where every single credit goes? So, tell me, Smarty, are you going to expand your suitcase with junk, or are you going to pack it with purpose?
I think I'll try to pack it with purpose, Rich. No more laser toasters just because I can buy them. I mean, my old one works fine. And maybe I should actually look at my bank statements for those space battery sales. This has been surprisingly helpful. Almost makes me think you're not entirely cynical.
Don't push it, Smarty. But hey, if you want to keep your finances from becoming an interdimensional garbage dump and maybe even understand more cosmic truths, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, or don't, I don't care. I'll still be here, watching humanity fail spectacularly. But at least you'll have a chance to fail with a well-managed bank account. Now, about that sentient puddle of toxic waste.